How's everybody doing today? So I'd like to talk about a couple things. One, something I've been going through with a little bit lately, more so than usual, is I talked about it before in a previous video where sometimes you need rest, and rest and recovery are actually more important than you realize, because when you're going through your day-to-day activities and you're pushing and you're pushing and you're pushing and you're not making much headway and you're feeling drained and tired and you're getting all these signs to slow you down or stop you from doing what you're doing. Let's say for instance, let's say you wanted to go exercise, and you wake up in the morning and you accidentally laid on your arm wrong, and your arm hurts, and you were going to do upper body that day. You're like, okay, well, I can't do that then. And then you go to work, and something else comes about where you're going to need your right arm to do more labor than usual and stuff like that. Sometimes the universe gives you little signs here and there that you need to sit back and rest and recover. Now, using this type of instinct is not conducive in most people's realities, because if you're obligated to show up to a job every day, are you going to call off every time you feel discombobulated, or you actually do need to rest? A lot of times you won't, because you'll feel like you're afraid of getting fired and stuff like that. A lot of times this is because you're not doing what you're aligned to do. When you're in alignment, you'll be able to take those days that you need in order to get back into alignment, because the universe is going to be working for you instead of against you. And when you're doing something you may or may not supposed to be doing, mostly when you're not supposed to be doing it, it's going to affect you in certain ways to where it's going to make it more difficult for you to move forward, because it's trying to tell you, say, hey, get out of this. You need to move on, because I'm trying to give you the hints here to stop, and you're not stopping, and you keep pushing forward. And I realized recently that I've been doing some of that, and my body feels like it was kind of like shut down, even though I started to catch up on my sleep. I'm like, okay, if I'm gonna catch up on my sleep, I'm not gonna feel tired. No, that wasn't the case. I was sleeping and I was still feeling drained, and I thought it was due to a lack of sleep, but it didn't help at all. Sometimes it was even worse than before. And if I was getting 5 or 6 hours of sleep consistently, that's not a lot of sleep. And knowing myself, I don't do well that much on low amount of sleep. But even when I took a couple of days to get back some of that rest, it still wasn't enough, because I kept trying to push and go forward with whatever I was doing. But if it's not in alignment, it's not going to work. So take a moment to sit back, reflect on what it is that you're actually doing, and maybe you're getting some of these roadblocks because maybe that road is trying to direct you to somewhere else, and you keep trying to ram through the roadblocks instead of going down the path that you're supposed to be aligned to be going. That's all I basically want to say on that. I'm actually excited to announce that the podcast, one of the podcasts I was talking about before, we're launching, and it might be right after this video. So look forward on the link of the channel link for the podcast on my channel, We Are One. I'm doing a podcast with Deborah A. She was on a previous video that I did an interview with her, and we're going to be we have a project called Phoenix Awakening, and that is what we're going to be discussing based on the offers and needs markets, as well as spiritual conversation, and even a daily, I would say, current events, trying to look at it and talk about it in more of in a spiritual opinion of why things are happening maybe the way they are, and not just a retrospective, rudimentary, hey, way of approaching why things are going the way they are. I talk about my videos all the time, the spiritual reason why things are happening, and we're going to discuss some of that in the podcast. So please check it out. We're excited about that, and it's going to be on my YouTube channel here. So if you have any questions about the Phoenix Awakening, you can type in the comments, or you can also email me at realitysimulator@gmail.com, and that's where I'll be either message you back from there, or I'll send it to Deborah if I think it's something that's better for her to respond to. I'll forward that email to her, and then she can respond back to you guys for whatever questions you may have. But anyways, that's all I wanted to talk about today. Greatly appreciate you guys watching, and have a nice day.